Good morning. I'm Scott Reynolds, President, Teupen USA. It's with pleasure that David Kesser and I will have opportunity to introduce you to Teupen and more specifically our Leo 18 GT. Before we get into the specifics of the Leo 18, I'd like to take you just a few minutes to tell you about Teupen, the company. Teupen was founded in 1977. It's a German company located in Gronau, Germany. Next year we'll celebrate our 35th year in business. And during this time, Teupen has established itself as a global leader in this product segment. In addition, in 2000, and we started selling in the United States in 2005, and Teupen further demonstrated its commitment to the North American market in 2009 by establishing its wholly owned subsidiary, Teupen USA, based in Charlotte, North Carolina. From Charlotte, we import the product, when we also serve as a sales, service, and support center for the North American marketplace. Teupen is the only manufacturer which boasts a complete product range from 42 feet of working height to 163 feet. The Leo 18 is the largest of the first part of the series, which has access to the single doors and can get you to a 58-foot working height. Above that, we go from 75 feet to 163 feet, through a standard commercial double door. I'm now going to turn it over to David to specifically talk about the Leo 18.
So, like Scott said, today for you we have the Leo 18. It's a 58-foot working height machine. Going to kind of go over some specs with you on the machine, then we'll get into the controls, and then kind of go from the ground up, from the tracks to the outriggers to the boom. Leo 18, like I said, it's a 58-foot working height machine. It'll go through a single door. It's 2 feet 7 inches wide, and it's like all our machines, all the way up to 163 feet. It's 6 feet 6 inches tall. It weighs a little over 5,200 pounds, and it's under 100 pounds per square foot. Like all our machines, they're all made to work inside buildings, and they're all made to work under 100 pounds per square foot, so they can work in any commercial building. The basket, to get it through a single door, you remove the basket, which is done by simply pulling a pin here. Pin pulls out, guy on each side. Basket weighs about 40 pounds. Set it on the ground. It's got wheels on the bottom, so it rolls like a wheelbarrow, so you're able to easily move it from place to place. Most guys will usually put their equipment in the basket and kind of roll it behind him, and then one guy will drive it through. The machine, the operations, the controls of the machine are done through one remote. Kind of a key feature for all our machines are the controls. The simple use of the controls. Whether or not you're going to a customer rents the 42-foot machine, the 58-foot machine, or even the 163-foot machine, they're all controlled the same way, and it's by a key on the remote. So this key controls everything that you're going to do with the machine. So when you have it on tracks, drive it to where you want to go. You flip it over to outrigger, set the outriggers, they automatically self-level, and then when you're ready to go up in the boom, you flip it to boom, and then you're ready to go up. So that's a big key feature for us, so that if a customer or facility maintenance guy is renting our 42-foot lift or the 98-foot lift, they operate the same way. So we have, on this machine, we have 2 joysticks, and that's it. It's the key and it's the 2 joysticks. So when you're operating the machine and the customer gets it, he's able to do it. Out of all the different things that we'll show you today in the self-leveling, and even with the other machines with the variable outrigger system and all that stuff like that, it all comes back to 1 key and 2 joysticks, and on a larger machine is 4 joysticks. So there's not a lot that they have to do and a lot to learn or anything like that. The main thing is to keep it simple so it's easy for them to use. With the controls, you have the 1 control, and you can operate it from the ground like we have it now, and then you can put the control in the basket and operate from the basket. Operating from the ground gives the guy the ability, as he's walking through a building or even getting up to the doorway, he can see how much room he has on either side of the machine, and as he's going down through alleys and getting in different places to set up, he has the ability to see how much room he has on each side as he's walking through the machine. So it gives him a little bit of advantage of going through the building and making sure he's okay. The tracks on the machine are non-marking tracks. They're height and width adjustable, so we actually have them out right now. It gives you more gradability. On this machine, you actually have 38% gradability. Most rental companies use a rollback truck. That kind of gives you an idea of the grade it can drive up. It also gives you the ability to height and width adjusted tracks. They don't just come out, they come down and out. So you have the ability to leave one track high and one track low so you can drive on a pretty steep side slope. It gives you the versatility to set up in different places, get to different places, and also set up in different places. So the tracks actually have 7 different points that touch along the ground here. So not only are they lightweight, they're 5,200 pounds, but they have a low surface load rating. So I think on this machine, the pounds per square foot is 77 in the traveling position, and in the working position, it's 37, a little over 37. So it gives you the ability to work on any first floor, but also on second floors, raised floors, mezzanines, on job sites. You also have the ability to lift it. All the machines are ready to be craned. The smaller machines, and this machine in particular, has fork pockets, so a lot of times on job sites and different places like that, they'll use it, they'll lift it up, and they'll set it up on a mezzanine and do their work from there. So it gives you a little bit of versatility to use the machine in different places. The Outriggers are self-leveling, which comes standard on every machine that we have. So to level the machine, drop the Outriggers down. All you have to do is flip it over. All you have to do is flip into the outrigger position. You pull down on one joystick. The outriggers go down. They'll hit the ground. They'll wait for each other. Scott will show you how it operates. So that's it if you cut it off. So that's it. All you do is pull one joystick down. There's a light on the remote. It goes green, and then you're ready to go up. It's going to level out the machine, but it's also going to make sure the machine is level, but it's also going to make sure there's enough pressure on each outrigger foot that it can withstand the weight and the outreach of 2 people in the basket, 440 pounds unrestricted capacity. The other thing that you have is every machine comes with these outrigger pads to protect the floors. If you're working outside, it gives you something solid to put down on it. They're also made to be stackable. Each outrigger can be on a different plane. This one can set up on a 10% grade. The other machines can set up on in even funkier situations. You can put them on retaining walls and do different things like that. So you don't have to have a perfect square area footprint to be able to set up the machine. You can do different stuff. You can put outriggers on steps. You can put it on retaining walls depending on the machine that you have. So you can do a lot of different stuff with the machines from a versatility standpoint. Moving up to the boom. It's a 58-foot working height. It's got 25 feet of unrestricted 440-pound capacity at a 25-foot height. The rotation is 450 degrees on this machine. It's non-continuous. One of the main things that we try to do is get guys on the machines. Out of everything that we do and everything that we show, the self-leveling and putting it on different planes and the tracks coming in and out, the rigidity of the boom is probably our top feature. The ability to be able to move in and move and stop and control the boom. You have full proportional controls in the basket. One of the ways that we're able to control how you move is through the turret. We have a large turret, the width of the chassis, then an oversized slewing ring. So one of the things you'll notice as Scott's going up is the smoothness of the controls. For us, working inside buildings, around glass, around beams, and different things like that, you have to be able to move and stop. You have to, and not just for us to be able to move and stop, but for the end customer, for it to be easy enough for the end customer to be able to move and stop, so that you don't get the play if you're working around glass. You have the ability to come to a complete stop and do what you need to do. One of the other features is because on our single door machines it's a fixed basket. On our larger double door machines all the baskets are rotating. On the single door machines they're fixed position baskets so we can detach it easily and take it through a doorway. But because we did that, what we did is we shaved the corners off the basket. So if you look at the underneath part of the basket, if it was a rotating basket, it covers 90% of what a rotating basket would cover. So even though it doesn't rotate, it still covers 90% of what you could do with a rotating basket. So that's on our single door machines that don't have that feature. So again, everything that Scott's doing right now is with 2 joysticks. So there's not a lot for the customer, there's not a huge learning curve or anything like that. We try to build the machine so that after you've leveled the machine down, after you've self-leveled the machine down, you're just operating a boom lift. And so from that standpoint, it keeps it easy for the customer to operate. There's not a huge learning curve. And from a rental standpoint, it makes it easy. We have dual power sources on the machine. We have an electric drive motor for indoor use. Then we have a Kubota diesel engine. It's 13 horsepower for outdoor use. So it gives you the versatility to be able to do outdoor work as well as indoor work. Most of the guys, when they rent it, they'll have a need where a place they can't get to with inside a building, they've had to use scaffolding or haven't had a way to get to it. They'll use the machine for that function as well, but then they'll also keep it for a couple days or a week, and they'll do everything else that they needed to do with the machine. So from a facility standpoint, that kind of covers everything that they can do. They can do the spots that they had to use scaffolding before, and then they'll go ahead and knock out the rest of their work with the machine, using it indoor and outdoor through the dual power sources. On the boom, one of the features on the boom is the fact that everything is inside the boom. All the cables, all the wires, everything is inside the boom, which is important for us because we work in tight spaces. You don't have anything overhanging, anything that could catch on anything like that. So from a maintenance standpoint, from a customer renting it, you don't have any of the wires and any of the hoses that could get caught on anything working in tight areas. So that's one of the things that we focused on, was a clean design and keeping everything inside the boom. Another feature on the boom is the knuckle point. We have one knuckle point, gives us a little more stability. Again, the whole idea is to keep it, that you have total control of the machine and how closely you want to get something and the tight movement in the tight places. Any questions you guys have about the 18?
What are the wheels in front of the booms?
Because they drive up such steep grades, you're able to use that. The machine's made to drive up very steep grades, so you actually can roll it on the wheels. So, because of the grades they drive up.